report on the bake sale and all those kinds of things. By the way, the bake sale will be open during intermission, so make sure you get out there and grab a treat. But also just thank you to all the parents for all the hard work and years you put into raising such wonderful kids, because I've really enjoyed working with them. So thank you. This is the second year in a row that our production, our one-act production, made it to state. So we got state recognition again this year. So a round of applause for all the technical note, something that is kind of interesting. We had when I pick a play, a lot of times I'm looking at the story and things like that, and it's an interesting story. I got comments from the judges saying that they were really impressed by the technical aspects of this play, and that wasn't really necessarily something I went into like saying I wanted to do something that was difficult. But I mean, it's like any other, you think about like ice skating or gymnastics or anything. There's a degree of difficulty. And so, just as a point of appreciation, one of the things that the students had to do with this play is that they have to interact with these text messages that are coming on and being projected. You can see them; they can't always see them. Sometimes out of the corner of their eye, but not really. So it's just something to I guess pay attention to. The judges really thought that was a really neat aspect, and like I said, they thought that really added to some of the degree of difficulty. They were impressed by that. So I hope you enjoyed the show, and again, don't forget about the snacks at intermission, and thank you again for coming.
Sometimes I wonder that, like if I'm making decisions in this universe and it's affecting another Zelda in another universe, or vice versa. Like I think, hey, I'd really like some Chunky Monkey ice cream. But in reality, it's like Zelda X and Universe A29B who ordered dark cherry ice cream right before her boyfriend was hit by a steampunk train. Which wouldn't be a problem for me because no boyfriend and definitely no steampunk trains. But now he's dead. And at the funeral, she swears, only Chunky Monkey from now on. So I order it, and wait, what was the question again?
That's what I'm talking about. Like, if I wanted to pull something like this, I would have been totally stealth ninja about it. We wouldn't even be having this conversation. This is someone who wanted to get caught, majorly.
I don't really...
And I'm not saying that I don't do stuff like this, ninja or otherwise. I'm not confessing anything.
I'm not...
And I'm not confessing by saying I'm not confessing. I'm just saying I didn't do anything, period. End of story.
I just really like my mom to be in the room.
No way! I'm not talking without a lawyer. Whatever I say or don't say, you're gonna twist it, and next thing you know, I'm sitting in the electric chair or something. Except, my family doesn't have a lawyer. But like, the state provides one, right? Like, do you call, or how do we get it?
Is this gonna affect my scholarship? Because my parents are kind of counting on those. I'm like the first one in my family to go to college, and a soccer scholarship. This can't mess that up. Like, this has nothing to do with those. Right?
What? I was just trying to be friends with them, you know? My dad always said, if you're not the smartest one in the room, you better be the friendliest. And my family, none of us are the smartest in any room. Neither one is just us. So we're just friendly, you know? I was just trying to be friendly to them.
I was just minding my own business. But part of my business is understanding how things work. I'm a curious person. I love learning. You know that. It's the theme of my whole college admissions essay. So of course I'm going to try to figure out what's going on. It's not like I orchestrated it. I'm not the mastermind. I just do things right.
Here's the only part I know, okay? I was...
Ask anyone. When I was 5, I got pet gerbils. I went online and I found out that they can live up to 4 years. I instantly decided my gerbils would live up to 7 years. So I started my research. Best foods, best habitat, best grooming, max amounts of water and vitamins, how much social interaction was ideal. How could I maximize the gerbil experience? And Fluff lived 8.5 years. I got photos.
The part I know is I was finishing lunch a few days ago, and I got a text. I went to Mr. Collins' room. He's really nice. It's quiet there. And you don't have to talk to anyone or answer any questions. I was just reading my book, and I got a text. And I didn't know what it meant, and I didn't recognize the number, so I should just ignore it. I know that now, but I don't get a lot of texts, so I just replied. I don't know why And I sat there, and it was, like, kind of exciting. These things don't really happen to me. I waited what seemed like a long time. I got ready to go to chemistry. And my first thought was, some friend is playing a prank on me. Except, I don't really have any. The only people who text me are my mom, my uncle, and my cousin. And they wouldn't think this was funny, so... And I went to chemistry. But I kept wondering why my first thought was that it was a friend. Where did that come from?
The first one I got, I erased it. I was not having any of that nonsense on my phone. But it said, and I'm like, what? A, who is this? B, for who? And C, is this a typo? Like, you meant selling my car? Because I'm not. It's my parents' car. It's perfectly fine. Only like 5 years old, and I just had the tires rotated. Oh, so from my car. Drugs. Yeah, I'm totally cooking meth in my spare time, in the lawnmower shed, and then selling it out of the trunk of my dead Honda Civic. Breaking Bad's based on my life. So it's bad enough getting text from Mr. Druggy, right? So I'm at home, doing my homework. I personally have no interest in any econ or friends, but it's totally going to fill a gap in my resume. And I think some kids were going to, like, dance or something that night, and I don't have the time, the inclination for the whole high school game. I'm going to find my peers in college. I've accepted that. So I'm studying. I think I was translating Baudelaire or something, and it's from a different number from before. I'm the most responsible person of anyone I know. Who cleaned up all those towels in the girls' bathroom sink? Not my job, but I did it. Okay. This is yet a different number from the other two, so something's gotta be going on. Ugh.
So I was toweling off after gym, getting dressed, and my phone buzzes. There's like 20 guys in here. You know, some of them are texting, but no one's like looking at me, and I don't know any of them that well that I can just ask, so I'm a little creeped. Not that I'm homophobic or whatever. I've got no problems with that. You know, I'm cool with tolerance. It's just I totally have a girlfriend, and if someone's checking me in the shower, it's probably a joke, right?
I take the bus to work after practice. The 42C goes out past my uncle's place. I wash dishes, bust tables, whatever needs so closing. Around the bus, I mind my own business. You know? Earbuds in, I'm good. And I'm like, what, you know? I never said I'd help anybody. And because I don't know the number, I'm thinking it has to be someone on the team, like they got my number from the coach's text. So I'm going for the faces, you know, trying to figure out who would say that. Same number. Now I'm thinking it has to be an adult, because no kid talks like that, especially not anyone in soccer. But it's not coach's number. And I've had teachers be like, you take charge on the soccer field, why don't you stand up in class? Well, it's like in soccer, I know the rules. I know what we're aiming for. Everything off the field, it's just better to get quiet and just watch, you know? Keep your head down and you'll be okay.
That's what the first one said. You know you can tell me anything. And I was like, cool. And then I was like, nice. Not that I needed a shoulder to cry on, because I don't cry. Well, not never. I cry during Pixar movies, or when my mom slaps me, which isn't even that often anymore. But when I cry, it's private, you know? And besides, you don't want me crying on your shoulder, because then your shirt's all wet, and there might be snot, or maybe even drool, and, well, you don't want that, and I don't want the guilt of ruining your nice blouse. But an ear to listen? That's cool. Is this like one of those anonymous apps, like ePriest or Counselor in a Box? But aren't I supposed to be the anonymous one, not the counselor? But I was like, whatever, this could totally come in handy.
No way. I knew it was BS from the start. I was hanging out by the bus lane after school, the undesignated smoking area. But I don't smoke. Well, at least not that much. I just got more in common with them than anyone else, you know? And we were all, well, they're not my crew, you know? I was just there. And they were all laughing and doofing on Mr. Collins, like, students, I will take those electronic social media devices away. It's in the handbook. When I got this text. And I'm like, wait, this is irony. This is what Mrs. Vallejo was talking about. But I didn't know the number, and none of the burnouts were texting. And I looked around, and it didn't look like anyone was watching us. Well, we were outside, so anyone could have been looking from the school. And then I'm like, is someone watching me? How did they get my number, you know? And then I'm like, are they making fun of me, or do they actually think I'm their hero? Because that either makes them a dirtbag or a McNugget stupid. Either way.
I had to give a speech in Mr. Klein's class about the Revolutionary War. Like, introduce us to one unsung hero of the war, and I chose George Washington. But I was kind of nervous because I don't like talking in front of people. So I was sitting at my desk, looking at my notes, and being scareder and scareder, and my stomach was just, So I was like, I think I'm going to throw up. But I don't want to run out of class because that would be embarrassing. But throwing up all over my desk would be a billion times more embarrassing. But then I get a text. I keep my phone in my lap during most classes, but don't tell anyone. But a text buzzes and says, and I'm like, someone thinks it's okay for me to vomit all over my desk? But then I realized they mean I have to do the speech, you know? But it's not Sean's number or anyone I know, so that's a mystery. But it's a good mystery, you know? Because now I'm wondering who sent it. was talking about. But it felt good, you know? Like calm. Like, yay, someone believes in me. And I get up and I do my speech and it goes great. I do so great. I'm like, yay!
You know? I don't got much time. I have practice.
Well, I got orchestra rehearsal.
Volleyball.
Well, I was gonna go use the Large Hadron Collider and smash peanut butter and jelly at the speed away. I'm just kidding. I don't have access to the Large Hadron Collider. And it's in Switzerland, weirdos.
So, who would want to pit us all against each other?
Right.
I was thinking my cousin Donald, maybe.
None of us know your cousin. Do we?
Oh, why would he pick us? He's sure we're doing a video game.
I don't think it's your cousin.
Okay. The only people that know all of us are teachers. Mr. Collins is mean. He's not mean. I like him. Seriously? He took my phone one time.
You're not supposed to have it out.
I'm Dowdy's teacher. They totally get fired if this ever happens.